ever seen an ad for something that felt like it was just made for you? Or maybe you have been shopping online and found the perfect product recommended to you at just the right time. That's called market segmentation in action. So in simple terms, it's a strategy used by businesses to target customers based on their unique needs and interests. If you've ever wondered how businesses figure out exactly what you want, this video is for you. We are going to break down market segmentation in easy to understand terms using examples to explain every key point. And by the end, you'll understand why segmentation is so important for businesses and how they use it to grow. So here's what we'll cover in the video. First, we'll talk about what is market segmentation, the types of market segmentation, how to implement market segmentation, benefits of market segmentation, real-life example, challenges faced. So let's dive right in. Now, first, let's understand what exactly is market segmentation. Now, imagine you're at a big party with a lot of different people. Some like rock music, others prefer pop, some enjoy quiet chats while some are there just for the snacks. Now, if you try to talk to everyone about the same thing, it wouldn't work well, right? That's why you need to divide people into smaller groups based on what they like. And that exactly is called market segmentation. It's the idea of dividing a large group of people, that is the market, into smaller group which is in segments who share similar traits like age, location, and how they shop. In this way, businesses can create product, ads, and services that speak directly to each group's need. Now let's take an example. Think about Nike selling running shoes. Now, they don't just have one pair of shoes for all the customers. They offer shoes for runners, basketball players, outdoor adventurers, and many more. By segmenting their market, Nike makes sure they sell the right shoes to the right people, making their marketing much more effective. Now, why does it actually matter? Market segmentation helps businesses figure out who their customer really are, what each group wants or needs, how to communicate with them effectively. Now we'll discuss the different types of market segmentation. Let's talk about the different ways businesses divide people into group, which is segments. So basically, there are four main types of segmentation. The first one we are discussing is the demographic segmentation. Now, demographics are simply personal details about people like age, gender, income, education, occupation, that is job, and the family size. Now, let's take an example. Suppose, imagine a company that sells luxury cars. Now, they know that people who make more money are less likely to buy their expensive cars, right? So what they do is they focus on selling their cars to wealthy professionals, that is the high income people, rather than people which are set on a budget. Now another example I'll give you, which is of H&M, a clothing brand, has separate sections for men, women and children because the clothes they want are very different. Now this makes it easier for them to provide the right styles for each group. So this was the first type of the market segmentation we discussed, which is the demographic. Let's look at the second market segmentation, which is the geographic segmentation. Now this one is based on where people live, and it's a simple idea. People who live in different places often have different needs. So basically, the geographic segmentation is based on the cities, countries, people living in different villages, the climate, weather, population, density, and according to that, they will target the audience. Now, let's take an example. Think of McDonald. So in India, they sell the Mac Aloo Tikki burger, let's suppose, which is the perfect for people who are vegetarian. Now, often if you visit McD, you opt for Tikki burger. But in Japan, you might find a teriyaki chicken burger instead. Now, why? Because the taste of people in these two countries are different. So McDonald's tailors its menu to fit each place. So now that you've understood the geographic segmentation by this example, let's look at the third type of the market segmentation, which is the behavioral segmentation. The behavioral segmentation looks at how people act, which is what they buy, how often they buy, whether they are loyal to the brand or not, and why they buy certain products only. So basically, they have a look on the usage-based segmentation, the loyalty segmentation, the benefit sort segmentation, behavior of the purchasing, occasion-based and time-based purchasing, and the customer progression. So let's suppose, and we'll take an example. So if you're shopping smartphone, you add it to your online cart, but you decide not to buy it. Later, when you're browsing another website, you see ads for that same smartphone again and again. That is what called retargeting. It's a form of behavioral segmentation because the company is targeting you based on your action, placing the product in your cart. So now let's have a look on the fourth type of the segmentation, which is the psychographic segmentation. Now this one is a little deeper. So basically, it focuses on what people believe and what values they hold. So it looks at their lifestyle, how they live, their personality, are they adventurous, they're laid back, and all of that. They also look at their value, which is what important to them, like health or sustainability. They also have a look at the values, attitude, the personality traits they carry, the activities, interests, and their opinions, and their social status. So let's take an example. So Tesla targets environmentally conscious, tech-savvy consumers by promoting electric vehicles and sustainable energy. The people who care about reducing emissions and cutting-edge technology are drawn to Tesla because it aligns with their values. So now that you have understood how Tesla targets environmentally consciousness and how it's a perfect example of psychographic segmentation, let's look at how to implement market segmentation. Now that we know the different types, how do businesses actually use segmentation? So here's how to do it step by step. So the first step is defining your target market. Now before you can break up the market, you need to understand it. Businesses look at the bigger picture. What's the general need or problem that their product solves? Now, for example, a company selling fitness gear needs to understand the overall interest in the fitness and health. The second step is gathering data. You can't segment effectively without data. So businesses collect information through surveys, focus group, and online behavior. That is what customers click on and what they buy. So basically, they track their website click, the purchase history, and the browsing platforms. On focusing group, they gather small group to discuss products and get the detailed feedback. Now, collecting through surveys, they'll ask the customers directly about their preferences, income, and their lifestyle. Let's look at an example now. Netflix uses your viewing history, that is what shows you watch, when you pause, when you skip, to segment into groups like comedy lovers or thriller fans, then recommends content accordingly. Amazon tracks your purchase history and browsing behavior to segment you into categories like frequent book buyers or electronic enthusiasts. Now let's look at the third step, which is segmenting the market. Now, after collecting enough data, you divide your customers into smaller groups with similar needs and preferences. Talking about how it works, so basically, you can look at the data and you can find the patterns. Group customers who behave similarly or want similar things. Now, let's take an example. So, a coffee company analyzes the data and discovers coffee enthusiasts who buy expensive whole beans and own grinders. So, this is the group 1 people who will have look on this. Now we have group 2 people who are the busy professionals who want quick, convenient coffee pots. Then the group 3 looks at the health-conscious customers who only drink decaf or maybe low caffeine options. Then we have group 4, which are price-sensitive shoppers who buy whatever coffee is the cheapest. So you see, each group has different needs. So the company can create specific products and marketing messages to each segment instead of trying to please everyone with one approach. Let's look at our step 4, which is creating customer persona. So basically, a persona is like creating a fictional character that represents a typical customer in each segment. So it's like a detailed description that makes your customer group feel like a real person. So what does a persona basically includes? It includes demographics, which includes your age, gender, income, location. Behavior, which includes shopping habits, preferred brands, spending patterns. Your goals, that is what they want to achieve. Pain points, problems that they face. And the values, which is what matters them the most. Now let's take an example, which is, let's suppose a healthy Hannah persona. So we have a person who is age 32-year-old woman, and the job is a marketing manager who earns around $65,000 per year, and she lives in any particular area. And her lifestyle is going to gym 4 times a week, meal prep on Sundays. Shopping behavior includes reads ingredients, labels, shop at Whole Foods, follow fitness influencers. And the goal includes want eating, cleaning, maintaining energy throughout busy work days. The pain point also includes limited time for cooking, organic food expensive, and the values include health, sustainability, quality over quantity. Now you might be thinking, why does this persona actually help? Well, instead of thinking we sell to health conscious people, the businesses can think we sell to Hannah, who needs quick organic meal options for her busy lifestyle. Now, this makes it easier to create products Hannah would actually want and write marketing messages that speak directly to her situation. Now, let's look at a fifth step, which is testing your marketing strategy. Now, businesses make different marketing messages for each customer group instead of using the same message for everyone. So basically, you need to create specific ad, emails, and promotions that speak directly to each segment's need and interest. Let's take an example now. So for example, a company selling workout gear might create an ad for yoga enthusiasts and a different ad for weightlifters. Now they then test their ads to see which one actually works the best. Now we have for yoga enthusiasts, ad messages which includes find your inner peace with the eco-friendly yoga mats, images that is a calm person doing yoga in nature. Features includes non-slip surface made from recycled materials. Where they advertise is the yoga magazine's meditation app. Then we have for weightlifters, the ad messages would include building serious muscle with gear that won't quit. Images will include strong person, heavy lifting weights and gym. Features would include durability, sweat resistant, maximum grip. And where would they advertise? Well, they advertise in bodybuilding forums, fitness, and YouTube channels. So each group feels like the company understands the specific needs, leading to more sales than using one generic message for everyone. Now let's have a look at the benefits of market segmentation. So basically, there are many reasons why businesses love market segmentation. The first reason is better marketing campaigns. So instead of creating a general ad for everyone, which I already told you before, businesses create ads that speak directly to the people who actually want their product. The second one is better customer experience. So when businesses understand your preferences, they can create products or services that fit your needs. So this leads to happier customers. Then we have stronger customer loyalty. So when customers feel understood, they are more likely to return for repeat purchases. They feel like a personal connection to the brand. Then we have improved products and services. By knowing what different customer group want, businesses can design products that are more appealing and useful to each group. Then we have higher conversion rates. Targeted ads mean more people are likely to buy that product. If the marketing is tailored to their needs, it's easy to convince them to make a purchase. Also, just a quick information, guys, if you're interested to start a career in digital marketing, you should definitely check out Simplilearn's postgraduate program in digital marketing, which is in partnership with Purdue University. So this course provides a robust and industry-relevant curriculum to help you become a certified digital marketing expert. The program covers essential marketing components like website creation, SEO, SEM, social media marketing, mobile marketing, content strategy, and advanced topics like leveraging ChatGPT and other GenAI tools. You'll also gain hands-on experience through live interactive learning, Stukin digital marketing simulation, case studies, and capstone projects. So guys, you can hurry up and enroll now and find the course link in the description box below and in the pinned comments. Now let's have a look at the real-life examples of market segmentation. So here are a couple of companies that use market segmentation really well. So at first we have Spotify. So you must have used this app, of course. So Spotify uses behavioral segmentation, which is based on what you listen. They create personalized playlists like Discover Weekly just for you. The more you use it, the better it gets at knowing what you actually like. The second brand we'll be looking at is the Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola uses demographic and psychographic segmentation. They offer different products for different needs. We have varieties of Coca-Cola. We have classic Coke for people who love the original taste. We have Diet Coke for health-conscious people. We have Coke Zero for people who want the taste but no sugar. You see how these two brands uses all the types of the marketing segmentation to actually target their audience. Now let's have a look at the challenges in the market segmentation. So while market segmentation is super useful, there are some challenges which businesses actually face. Let's have a look at that. The first one is the cost. Now, segmenting a market can be expensive because businesses need to gather and analyze data. The second one is over-segmentation. Sometimes businesses divide the market into too many small groups, which makes it hard to manage. The third one we'll be looking at is having not enough data. Now, if businesses don't have enough good data, they might end up targeting the wrong people. So you see the challenges which is faced in the market segmentation. So guys, to conclude it and to sum it up all, market segmentation is about dividing a big market into smaller, more specific group of customers. So businesses can target their products, services and ads more effectively. It helps businesses serve their customer better, making it marketing more personal and ultimately driving sales. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, do hit the notification bell and subscribe for more such tips by Simplilearn. Thank you and keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.